Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone, and we're continuing to talk football on this Friday edition of the show. Since Wednesday night's naming of the senior Reggae Boys squad for this month's Copa America tournament, much of the attention has been focused on Leon Bailey's inclusion and then exclusion after his agent Craig Butler stated that he is unavailable for selection. We have heard from the president and the general secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation, the JFF, and head coach Heimer Hall Grimson, and agent Craig Butler via his social media page and other media houses. Butler joins us live in studio to help us better understand the confusion surrounding Leon's availability for national duty. Craig, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. I can tell you that from where I sit, it's been torturous covering football in Jamaica and the ins and outs and the JFF issues and this latest issue. And it was dramatic, the way that a squad was named, and then minutes after we heard that Bailey wasn't in and he shouldn't have been in. How did that happen, Craig? Because we understand you had discussions with the JFF and coach Hal Grimson, and from their side, they're saying that you gave the go-ahead for Leon to be included, and then when he was included, you opposed it.
Absolutely not.
What happened?
That's not the situation at all, and it's disingenuous of them to even go down that path. I have on my phone here, and I can show it to you, where we advise Coach Hal Grimson not to include Whisper, definitely not, and not to include Leon until I've gotten a chance to speak with him to see his position. They went ahead, had their press conference, and named both players, knowing full well that no confirmation had been given to them. And, this was, my friend Chris Williams constantly says to me, Craig, we understand what you're trying to do, but do not give them examples of your players, because then it will sound self-serving. What we have asked for the JFF to do is simply ensure that proper security is there for players, when they go on games. We also asked that there is a simple thing as it relates to long-haul travel, to review the contracts, because within the contracts that they have any player that travels over 4 hours should have business class seating. Unfortunately, they have not adhered to that in the last periods. They need to also improve areas where there's communication with the staff as to how to deal with the players. And that has been a big problem, One of the things that we try to do is to protect our players. When you go to a game and Canada or Spain or England is playing, it's not easy access for the media to just walk up with a camera and go into a player. It's not easy because the name fans also is short for fanatic. And the reality of it is, if the protection that is given to players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, etc., and all the other players on the pitch, not just them. We see the camera on them, but every other player on the pitch is protected by the security from the association. It's not for personal security. We've never asked for that. And Leon has never asked for that. It was never terms of engagement. It was simply my giving them some logical advice as to how to move forward in their projects with the national team.
Can I ask you this, though? Because Leon is one of several elite players in the setup. And the other players, the Damari Grays of this world and so on, are going along with the program. A lot of people looking on are believing that Leon Bailey is, and this is what people are saying on the street, why is he so special that he can't accept what the other players are accepting?
Well, the reality of it is, it's not that he's the only one that feels that way. He's the one that is leading the charge. And the reality of it is, even the national coach himself has agreed with what we're saying. There must be a certain level of professionalism. This is your national team. These are your national treasures. You must protect them. Damari Gray also needs protection. Even the youngest player, Whisper, anyone, Dixon, all of them. You do not go to a game and players are coming off of a bus going into the hotel and there's not a security protecting them from people going towards them.
Yeah, but Craig, let me ask you this quickly, though, because I think a year and a half or so ago, Leon had a lot more public support than he has now. And there has been a significant downturn in support for him and your position. Because I've seen social media, I've seen public opinion, I've listened to talk shows, and most football fans that I hear talk now say, let Leon Bailey stay where he is. We can do without him. Well, let's go ahead without him because he's behaving as if he is too big to play for Jamaica. This is where a lot of football fans are at the moment. And another question they're asking is, are all of these positions that he has coming fully from him, or is it you, his agent, pushing him in this direction?
Absolutely not. Leon has his own mind. He's his own man. My job is to manage. My job is not to direct. Yeah. One of the things that we have forgotten and not realized is that this is our national team. Yeah. At no time, if you want to blame it on me, my back is broad. It's not new to me. Yeah. I'm tough. Yeah. But Leon has not had a vacation since 2016. How many players, and I don't want to call out all the names, have not shown up for personal reasons? Pinnock, Hutchinson, Antonio, Demarai Gray, several players. Yeah? Leon has been here from 2016 till now. Every single call-up. And all the man has asked for is to take his kid to Disneyland and to have some family time and vacation. You know, far 2016 is from 2024.
Yeah, that's 8 years.
Yeah. Right? And all he's asked for is that time because this is the only time that professional footballers get off. Leon played 52 games this year, the most he's ever played in his life for Aston Villa. The most he's played before that was 40 games. And it wasn't games coming on with 15 minutes. It was starting position, full games. He's tired. He needs a rest.
Yeah.
Respect that.
You know, Craig, another thing is people are saying that, you know that the team was going to be announced on Wednesday, right? You told them that you would get back to them once you spoke to Leon, of course. So they want to know if you were expecting them to hold off on naming the team until you decided to get back to them.
No, I actually made sure I sent a message, and it's on my phone, to Coach Al Grimson. Do not name Whisper or Leon in the team. They have not committed. Do not.
Yeah, what's the update with Whisper? Why has he not been named, and what was the reason for holding off on him?
The reality is he's two things are happening. One, he's expecting a baby with his girlfriend, right? And two, he has a small injury that we have not decided whether it requires surgical attention or not. And Chelsea is not comfortable with him playing the game and doesn't want to release it.
Okay.
So the fact that they don't want to release him, we have a contract with Chelsea and we have to abide by it. Yeah. So Whisper was pulled, said no, he's not going to play. We also advise, do not list Leon Bailey.
Yeah, was there at any time in that discussion that you had with the JFF? Because this is also, this piece of news has been making the rounds, that you went to the meeting and you said that, you know what, I'm going to make this demand that if Leon Bailey is to play for Jamaica, I must have Phoenix players, I guess whoever you wanted, to be a part of the team. Talk to me about that, because I find that a bit puzzling.
Is this Phoenix national team or is this a Jamaica national team?
I'm asking you.
Because I would absolutely never say that.
Yeah.
And I did not say that at any time. And Dennis Chung and the president of the JFF are liars.
And back on the one with Whisper, isn't it that clubs are expected or supposed to release players for national duties?
Not if they believe that the player is not ready to play.
Yeah.
So it's a discussion between Chelsea and ourselves at this point, Phoenix management and Chelsea. And at this point, they have a contract with the player, and they have said, no, we have fought tooth and nail to try and get Whisper in.
Yeah.
And you know, the hurtful thing about this is, I'm a Jamaican and I love my country.
But that's what I would think, and I'm thinking the football is being hurt, Craig. That's what I'm thinking.
What is happening is that you have people in charge of the football that would like to put the blame on me. Yeah? Because all I'm simply trying to do is give them advice as to how a first world team would treat their players.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Leon.
And one more
You know?
thing.
Would you, Mariah, be comfortable in a national team where when you come off the bus, anyone can walk up to you, whether it's a camera or a knife in his hand, and go straight into your face? Would you be comfortable?
No, I get the security issues, Craig. I totally get that. I get how fans behave. I understand that. But you know, to me, and as you said it too, coach has also understood a couple of things when it comes to security and the way players should be treated. The issue at hand here is just some of the other demands, because I have to say, when I heard the thing about the Phoenix players, I was shocked. I was puzzled.
It's totally untrue. What was brought up in that meeting is simply the fact that they must address the argument and the perception of a conflict of interest. You cannot have the chairman of the technical committee
That's Rudolph Speed.
also being a part of a football club. It's a direct conflict of interest by FIFA and international standards, right? And this was nothing there was nothing stating, if this doesn't happen, Leon will come back, or if it does happen, Leon will come back. It was my personal advice to them, saying, you need to address these perceptions, you need to address these issues, and get it to global standards.
So Leon doesn't have any problem with the technical director and all. You were just, as you're saying, were just having some suggestions.
Yeah, Leon personally would never, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. What I am saying, though, is that if there's someone who's in I also said to them, you need to look at going to global standards of identifying which club a player belongs to. They called 4 of my players for the under-20s. Yeah? They sent me sent Phoenix All-Stars Football Academy the email requesting them to come to the national under-20s. They went, and then they listed them as unattached. Meanwhile, Michael Forbes, a player who is not attached to Cavaliers Football Club, was listed as Cavaliers Football Club. When the player said, and he was a starter on Jamaica's under-20, when the player said he's not playing for Cavaliers Football Club, he was immediately told he would be dropped from the under-20 by Speed, and he was dropped. And he's never been called. All the other players, including mine, were recalled to go to training, and this player, who was never registered to Cavaliers Football Club, is being forced to either play for his club, Cavaliers, or be dropped from the national team. These were the concerns that I had. And I'm saying to them, listen, this has continued too long. You need to address the matter.
I'm still confused. I want to move away from that, though, because the issue of Hal Grimson, because Hal Grimson on Wednesday night was embracing the fact that Bailey was now in the team. And hours after that, he had to retract those comments. And I'm still at a loss, Craig, and I heard you that you had given direct instructions that they should not name Bailey in the team. But the JFF and Hal Grimson have gone as far as to say that Bailey was going to be missing from the first game, but he would be available to play games 2 and 3. And it's hard for me to accept that they would have come to a position like that without some kind of
reassurance.
A reassurance or agreement from you and Leon, that was on the table.
This is one of the reasons that we've asked for more professionalism in the approach. If you're going to have a player, just like the West Indies, they sign a tour contract, correct? Yeah. Why not create a document that says, I am agreeing to be willing to be there for the tournament, instead of saying you hear this or the person tell you that.
Well, we did talk about that yesterday.
Right.
Ricardo spoke about that on the show yesterday.
Yeah. That's what they should be doing. Get it in writing.
Because I can't deal with the he say, she say.
Yeah, exactly. Further to that, if you have a meeting with the manager of the player and you're requesting, because I didn't call the meeting, yeah? Leonard already said up to a week before that he's not available. In writing to the coach. If you call a meeting and you ask me to come and meet with you, Dennis Jung, with Chris Williams present, and thereafter ask me to have a meeting with the coach when I've already told Dennis, no, Leon is not available. I sit and I meet with the coach. I hear the things that he's agreeing to do. I said, okay, I will speak with Leon. That's it. I will speak with Leon. It's not, he's going to play. I will speak with Leon. Wait. Right. Wait until I've spoken to him.
I hear you, but Craig, talk to me quickly about how you feel now, because I'm sure you have picked up the mood of the Jamaican fans about Leon Bailey, because I heard only today on a local talk show, the host, and he got agreement from callers that if they had a choice to start Kaheem Dixon or Leon Bailey in the Jamaica 11, Kaheem Dixon is the 19-year-old schoolboy, they would choose Kaheem Dixon. Well, when you, and the comment was agreed on by both the host and the caller who was on at the time. And given Leon Bailey's quality and his standing as a professional footballer globally, it must hurt for you to recognize that the fans aren't on his side.
Well, we understand how the JFF can be manipulative. And
no, but this is not the JFF now. These are fans.
Yes, but the JFF has used the media, including stating things like, we have demanded that players from Phoenix be included in the first team. This is crazy. No players at Phoenix right now.
I would suggest, though, Craig,
are able to play in the first team. They are 17 and 18 little kids.
Yeah. I would suggest, though, that a lot of the decline in support for Leon Bailey has come from Leon Bailey's comments himself and not anything the JFF has said. He did an interview on a podcast some months ago that had a lot of Jamaican people disappointed in a lot of things he said.
I'm certain, and it's very important to also look at that interview in context. When Leon was saying, oh, Jamaica not do nothing for me. What he's saying is not that Jamaica hasn't done anything for him. I'm Jamaican and I've done everything for him. I raised him, right? I've got him to Premier League. And I'm Jamaican. So Jamaica has done a lot for him. However...
But he also said he doesn't need Jamaica.
What he meant was he doesn't need the national team to get the success that he's having. Because if you look at the history of what happened to this young man, he was left off of Jamaica's under 13, under 15, under 17, when he has top scored and was MVP in all competitions in Jamaica. He was left off of Jamaica's under 20 when he was starring it up in Belgium and Genk. So when he says Jamaica hasn't done anything for me, what he's saying is Jamaica has not helped my progression to where I am. And that is the situation. It was never about Jamaica, the country, and the people of Jamaica. But the Jamaica Football Federation was treated him unfairly, consistently. And this is a prime example. Every other player is allowed to take a break. But Leon Bailey is not allowed. It's not fair. He's not allowed to take a break in 8 years. Having an 11-month season. 1 month. Out of 8 years, he's asking to go to Disneyland with his kid. And he's hated by his own countrymen. Yeah, but if that be the case, hate on.
Yeah, but he is being allowed to take a break.
No, he's not. because now he's hated because he's taking the break.
No, but you're putting that on the JFF. I just separated the JFF conflict with him from the fans who are now in conflict with him.
Yes, but if the fans believe that it is Jamaica, the people, that he's saying that has not done anything for him, which is how it was portrayed. Yeah, and we all know, anyone who knows about the history knows that it's not the people. I don't think there's any Jamaican footballer that plays professional football that is home the minute he gets a break. Leon is here the minute he gets a break. He loves his Jamaican people, he loves his Jamaican food, he loves his family, and he loves playing for his country, but he needed a break.
All right, so I get the fact that he needs a break, but Craig, the big question, will we be seeing Leon for Jamaica ever again?
At this point, this is something that is really up to Leon to answer. He's very, very hurt. The family is hurt. And that is something that will take time.
The real graphic situation that faces us here, Craig, is that usually when the JFF is in conflict with people, the man in the street opposes the JFF because the JFF has been bashed a lot. Partly deserved because of, their inefficiencies. But in this situation, to hear people siding with the JFF's position against Leon Bailey, it speaks volumes, Craig, and it tells me that we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here.
I will say this to you, Lance. This is not the first time we're here. It's not the first time the propaganda has been said. I heard the president of the Jamaica Football Federation say, I had no meetings with him, say that in order for Leon to be on the team, we wanted other Phoenix players. There are no Phoenix players now wanting to or ready to go into the national team. In fact, the ones that are there are going on tour of Europe in less than 2 weeks. So they would not be available.
Yeah. Another question that I need answered before you go, Craig, is that I get that Leon needs a break and he's tired and so on, but this is COPA. He's going to be, the Jamaica team will be advertising their skills at a global level in a tournament that it's not often that Jamaicans get an opportunity to play at this level. Yeah. So for Leon not to want to play here is hard to digest. Hard to digest.
He's playing for Aston Villa, the top 4 in the Premier League, and will be in Champions League next year.
But this is international football, though.
But he needs a break.
He's playing in a tournament that Lionel Messi will be playing in. But Messi doesn't play in the EPL.
But he's tired. His legs are hurt. He needs a break. You know what a break means?
Yes, I do.
When you need to take a break, you need to take a break. And it's hard on him, and it's been unfair to him. He is even the things that we suggested to them, right, were switched to be demands. Here I am sitting with Dennis Chung, and I'm saying, Dennis, you need to improve on this. You need to take it to global standards. You need to look at the flights. You need to be more professional. Get the contracts to state all these things so that the players are comfortable.
But
and it changes from advice to demands. And it's all over his friends, radio stations and TV stations that were making demands. There was no demands made. No demands. And in fact, what was advised to me was that because they got a certain amount of money for qualifying, the coach himself asked for the boys, the players, to have their own individual rooms. Because he recognizes.
Yeah. Craig, before you go, do you have a different relationship with Coach Hal Grimson than you have with the JFF?
I have a lot of respect for the coach because the coach is making a huge effort to get things more professional. I think the coach is extremely frustrated as well, I didn't go on a phone call. I actually went and met with him, yeah? And one of the things is that he's constantly being put in a position where he has to say things which are not necessarily based in fact, to protect what has been done. He and I knew. I sent him that message and said, do not list Whisper or Leon Bailey. And he also knows it's right there in my phone. And I have enough respect for him that I won't broadcast it. He's a good guy, and he has good intentions, and he needs more support, and we need to become more professional, and we need to recognize that we're behind in terms of global standards. You don't go and play, you're playing against a Canadian national team. You see security for them when they're going to the hotels. You don't see any for us. Yeah? It's important. You're not dealing with young kids anymore. You're dealing with multi-millionaire players. All of them. Antonio, Bobby Reed, all of them. Not just Leon. This is not about Leon. This is about ensuring that when we raise the level of our football, we must also raise the level of our administration to be professional enough to support the football so that it can become great.
Yeah. All right. You said a lot of things there, Craig, and a lot of what you're saying is true, but I think the average Jamaican football fan at the moment is distraught about what has happened and how it has happened. And
one question I have for you.
Yeah.
And that question is, if you were Leon and you worked for a company for 8 years straight, and every time you were asked to come, you were available, you never once said, I'm unavailable, and you're tired, your child is 4 years old, you've never been to Disney World, you want to take him, this is your only chance, and your country turns against you because of it.
Why would it be his only chance, though? Disney's always there.
Hold on. Disney's always there. He comes back, he goes into training camp with Aston Villa. He plays for the next 9 to 10 months.
Yeah.
And again, there's summer again. And again, there's going to be international football. When is he going to get the break? It's 8 years. Give him a break.
Well, based on what you're saying, we're not sure if he's going to play for Jamaica again. So when his season ends, he can get his breaks then.
Well,
I hope that's not the case, Craig.
That is for the future to see. And I never said that he was not going to play for Jamaica.
I know you didn't. You just said
he loves Jamaica.
Yeah.
Always will.
All right, Craig. Yeah. Thanks for being with us here on the SportsMax Zone to deal with this very, very difficult issue of Leon Bailey and his current status as an international footballer with Jamaica. We go to break. Back with more on the Zone after this.